Welcome to the latest Greyhound Derby Zoom room for Star Sports. I'm pleased to say I'm joined by my sidekick Lofty and Paul Hennessy, training, of course, Beach Avenue, who will go in the first semi-final on Saturday night's Greyhound Derby semis. First of all, Paul, massive congratulations on getting there. I think Ian Fortune said before the competition started that he could really see this dog sort of getting to the final, having not won a race, because he's just such a strong running sort. He's always going to get in the frame, isn't he?
Well, I hope Ian is right because we've one more hurdle to get over next Saturday night, Julie. But look, it's not simple. You saw Saturday night how difficult it can be, no matter how much pace a dog has to finish out a race. But look, it's fantastic. It really is. It's wonderful to be this far in a semi-final of a derby. You know, it's kind of the last step. You know what I mean? Everyone would love to get to a semi-final, obviously, and I suppose the natural thing then is want to make the final. But even to make a semi-final is wonderful. It really is, and the owners are having a great time.
Well, it's good to hear. How is the dog? How is he this week?
He's great, Julie. There's not a bother on him. Absolutely. We're blessed that he's getting through the competition, and you know what I mean? He's running the track as well as he's able, and he's fine. Not a bother. Checked out this morning, and everything is good. We're good to go. Now, look, we have another piece of work to do with him during the week. He'll get a gallop on Wednesday, but so far, so good. All is good.
And you're still travelling, which is, I know, a big effort for yourself and your family. But how does the dog travel?
Yeah, he's great. You see, it suits some dogs, Julie. You know what I mean? He just jumps into the van, lies down on his quilt, and he goes to sleep. And he doesn't lose anything by travelling. And I've done it everywhere, Julie. Over the years, we used to stay over in Wimbledon sometimes and come home other times. And you know, for me, you know, the twice we've won it, we travelled. You know, now look, we finished second one year with Tyra Kieran to Seamus Graham's dog, and we stayed. So it can be done both ways. There's no kind of one guaranteed way. But for me, what I like doing is if I can get my dog home as quick as possible after they run. And thank God so far we've been able to get the late night ferry, and the dog is back in his kennel here at 7 a.m. the following morning. And for me, that's, you know, that takes away home advantage, if you like. Away advantage, it takes away that we're not away from home. The dog is back in his own surround, his own kennel, his own people dealing with him. And for me, that gives us the same level of competition as we'd have as if it was an Irish derby, you know, or near enough anyway.
That's really interesting. I think it's fair to say the Irish generally will be pretty pleased with the situation you're in going into the semi-finals, aren't you? You must feel quite proud of what you've achieved.
It has been wonderful, but there's 5 of us in one semi-final, in our semi-final, so there's going to be a few of us coming a lift home on Saturday night. But anyway, look at this. It is wonderful. It's had to be a great event, and I'll tell you, all credit to Towster. I take my hat off to Kevin Boothby and the team in Towster to have grabbed a hold of the derby and said, right, we're going to put it back up right at the very top is where it should be. And for me, anyway, it's a brilliant event, run at a great track. You know, like Greyhound racing, people are saying it's this, that, and the other with different tracks. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get the perfect track? You know, there's a bend in every track, no matter where you go. But I think, you know, in fairness to Towster, it's a reasonably easy track to run for a Greyhound if to get into the rhythm at all. Now, it's not maybe ideal for our dog in the sense that he's a wide runner and stays, but that's where the derby is, and I'm delighted to be running him in it. You know,
great to hear.
Everyone would love the perfect dog that come out and go like a rocket to the bend and turn 3 clear and stretch out. I mean, that's great. That's the dream. And if you can do it, if you have the dog is capable, I don't think in my career I've ever had a dog who was capable of doing it, Julie. I've always had these dogs that had to catch up. But anyway, look, it is what it is.
Absolutely. He can, he certainly does catch up well as well.
Lofty,
yeah. we managed to sort of swerve having Ian Fortune on this Zoom call because, to be fair, he'd have every reason to be smug right now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he was pretty smug at the start when we see how strong the Irish were. We had a sort of brief sojourn, I think, about the second round when the UK dogs were doing well. But when I was doing the draw on Saturday night and drew the 5 out and won, and I'm sure Patrick Jansen's, he's done a few of these Zoom calls with us, hasn't he? And he's got 3 Derby semi-finalists. At the end of the day, you know, Paul's having them to get 1, so Patrick's got 3. OK has got all 3 in the same heat, you know, the same semi-final. rather like you did with Pat Buckley last year in the semi-final draw, which you've not lived down yet, have you? Getting them all in the same one. But, you know, look, if he gets a Derby semi-finalist, I'm sure the law of averages would say in the second semi-final he will do, you know, with the three, certainly with Bocco's Bailey. I mean, Thorne Falcon, who I've really been taken with throughout the Derby, and certainly was again last week when we put him up. And obviously, you know, Collier Lion, who was the forgotten dog, really. He's a dog who's gone under the radar and just snuck through in thirds every time. And a dog who genuinely loves Toaster. You know, he's got the form of winning back the Cat one back there early in the year, the blue ribbons and stuff. But no, look, it's for the Irish to lose, I think, now, isn't it? You know, they've got the two odds-on favourites in both the heats. I mean, you can say Dear Jet Sydney's not ideally drawn in trap one for a dog who wants trap one. It's a bit of a double entendre saying that, really. I'm really sweet on Ballymac Fair one there. I think he's got a lovely draw out in four now, and he's got plenty of early pace, and hopefully he might, a bit like Knock the Ball Sid, when he moved him off the rail a little bit more, he might trap better from the middle traps. They seem to trap better from 3 and 4 there. I thought he was 11-2, 6-1 in a couple of places. Was a big price in that heat. But look, Beach Avenue, as Paul said, the owners have been over there quite a bit. We've got to know the owners quite well. They always come out and have a chat with me before racing, and he keeps sneaking through in third. That's all you want to do. And I'm sure if he finishes third again on Saturday night, you know, short head third, gets up right on the jam stick, the pin third, they'll be over the moon again to be in the final, and they'll have a good old time, I dare say, at the Derby lunch. So we all to look forward to still, and it's been a fascinating Derby, and I still couldn't call the winner, honestly. I mean, despite the way the betting looks, you know, you would favour an Irish dog, but there's still surprise up the sleeve somewhere, I think, now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very tough semi-final, Paul. How do you see it? Do you think he will qualify against the opposition you're in with?
Look at Julie, what I think it doesn't really make any difference is what happens when the lid's open, you know what I mean? And the dog as well, the most important thing for me from a trainer's point of view, if the dog is fit and well and sound, and he is that, and he's in great form, his coat has been coming all the time during the competition, you know, so like he's coming to a stage where he's going to peak himself, and that's just his natural time of the year. Maybe dogs are with the fine weather, they're coming in their coats and all the rest of it. I'm very happy with him. There isn't anything we can do. He's not a dog that's going to smash out a 6 box and do a stunning performance. He'll give a stunning performance, but it won't be that style of one. But, you know, all these little things need only come right once. He got an awful lot of trouble on Saturday night. The tree dog was, you know, the two of them were tussling the whole way down the back straight at the third bend. He hit it at the first bend, again at the third bend. So, in fairness to Beach Avenue, he did a lot of running. He passed some decent dogs up the home straight to get up to qualify. So, you know, some night, maybe, he'll get a run that he won't get interference. And if that happens, then I think he's as quick as any of the rest of them on the clocks. I think, like, look, if you gave him a solo, he'd do the same as any of those dogs. I know he's unlikely to get a solo, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we're there on merit. He's ran well all through the competition. He's in great form. But it's interesting you mentioned Collier Lion, right? My brother-in-law, Philip O'Keefe, that is responsible for me getting into greyhounds back farther than I care to remember. He bred that dog, you know, which is lovely for Philip as well. I trained his mother, I trained his grandmother, I trained his grandfather, I trained his great-grandmother, and his great-great-grandmother.
Oh, wow.
That'll be the useless information for you.
So if you don't win it, maybe that's the one you want to see win it.
Well, look, I mean, we learned it for Philip, as I say, you know, and that was he got me involved in the greyhounds way back in the 70s. Like, you weren't born, Julie, but you know, and that's the truth. Yeah, he bred Collier Lion, so fair play to him, you know. And he's running very well, you know. He's
Patrick Janssens has had a great derby. Who else has impressed you, Paul, throughout the derby? Who would you
I must say that the 6 pup, what do you call him? That 6
Falcon.
Torn Falcon. I saw him running first time out in Enniscorthy, and I thought he was too big. I didn't, you know, he was impressive in that performance. And I didn't make an inquiry. I looked at his weight. He was 88 or 89 pounds
I think
weight.
Lofty, you felt the same, didn't you?
Straight away, I said, yeah.
Yeah, I said a dog that size, you know, maybe, you know, wouldn't. But by God, he's running Towster like a dream, and he's a very, very good greyhound. So, you know, but Pat's 2 dogs are on fire. I mean, Knock the Ball said, I know how good he is. I've seen, you know, over here. And for me, he's as close as you'll get to the perfect racing dog. So if I was having 50p on something, I think I'd have it on Pat's Knock the Ball Sid.
50p.
Now, I hope to follow him through on Saturday night, because it'd be great fun with Pat for the weekend.
Absolutely. What sort of price are we looking at anti-post for Beach Avenue then now, Lofty?
Where were we? I think he was 12-1 with us. So I'll try and look and I'll get my website up. You still got me unprepared there, Julie. Seriously better than that. 16-1 he was. There we go. He's actually one of our good winners in the book, believe it or not. So we're all pleased to see him win, and certainly get him in the final will be quite good. It will stop one of the couple of the place dogs. Yeah, so he's 16 with us now, Beach Avenue. We're favourite not the ball Sid, purely on the fact of the liabilities we got. He's our worst loser now. So
well, he looks the part anyway too. Like, he looks the part. I mean, what he's done out of trap for the last 2 nights, you couldn't argue with that. He's the dog. Like, we're just hoping that maybe, well then, the staying dog, look what happened on Look and Look last week. She got away to a great start.
Trapped out too well, didn't she? Yeah.
So you don't know when you're as well off, not, because if you trap out and you haven't the pace to follow it up, you could be in bigger trouble. But look,
exactly.
As I say, if he goes into traps, if Ola goes to the traps well on Saturday night, that's all. Whatever happens, then it'll happen. And if we're in the last 3, if we're in the first 3 rather, well, happy days,
You've been there and done it all before, Paul, with the Greyhounds. Obviously, you said won the Derby twice. I know that it's meant an awful lot to you on both occasions. So I'm kind of interested how much it means to you to be in this position again, firstly. And also, how does winning a Greyhound Derby compare to a Cheltenham Festival winner?
Well, look at Julie, you'd be blessed to win either. And that's being honest with you, because you know yourself how difficult it is to win a derby. It's absolutely next door to impossible. 190 something start out and won. So like ends up winning it. So, we were blessed that we won it in Wimbledon with JT Jet, and then in Nottingham with Priceless Blake. So, that has been amazing. And to be back in the semi-finals again, I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. It's out of this world. It really is. And you wouldn't separate one from the other. And for the mare to have gone and won in Cheltenham as well was just, as I said, there's only, there's so many people spend so many months, 12 months of the year trying to have a runner in Cheltenham and trying to have a winner. It's the same with the Greyhound Derby. Everyone that breeds a litter of pups dreams that maybe there's a Derby one amongst them, right? And so now, people spend their careers trying to get to a Derby final or to get into a Derby or to win one. And it's the same with the horses. I wouldn't separate. There's no way of separating either of those. They're wonderful things if they happen for you. And as I say, we were blessed. I mean, really and truly. And to be back in the semi-final, it's a huge honour. It really, really is,
Oh, I'm so pleased for you. It's no surprise that we regularly see the same trainers in this kind of position, and you're definitely one of those. A fantastic trainer of horses and dogs. It's been a big effort. Thank you very much.
But I think, Judy, we were just blessed now that we have decent animals. You know yourself, and you can go nowhere without that. And as I say, Beach Avenue has been brilliant now for some time, and exciting, swashbuckling type of dog. He gets on with it there every night, and nothing bothers him. He's as cool as a breeze, I know.
I met him at the kennel, and he really is as cool as a cucumber. A lovely, lovely dog.
He is, But listen, and funny thing about him, when you go back on generations with Collier line, even the Beach Avenue's grandmother is a daughter of the Late Late Show. So he runs a little bit like the old Late Late used to run. Yeah. So.
Well, listen. Best of luck. It's tough races, 2 tough races on Saturday night.
Brilliant races, yeah.
You've got a great chance with the way he's running. So best of luck for Saturday night. Thank you for joining us, and to you as well.
Thanks, Julie. Cheers.
Pleasure, Jules.
Keep him well for the week. Take care.
We'll do our best. God bless you.